what is the power available in the wind? Power available in the wind. Power available in the wind. Let us consider U naught will be the speed of the wind. U naught will be the speed of the wind. U naught will be the speed of the wind. And A is the area through which wind is blowing. A is the area through which wind is blowing. Area through which wind is blowing. U naught is the speed of the wind. A is equal to area through which wind is blowing. And rho is equal to density of the wind. Density of the wind. Rho is equal to density of the wind. Density of the wind. Okay, like that. So you will have different parameters regarding the wind. Now I am defining a parameter called as a mass flow rate. I am defining a parameter called as a mass flow rate, which I am representing as m dot. Mass flow rate. Mass flow rate I am defining. Mass flow rate is, okay, I am defining as rho A U naught. Mass flow rate will be the density into area through which wind is blowing into the speed of the wind U naught. You can calculate the mass flow rate m dot. Mass flow rate m dot. Okay. The kinetic energy, okay, already you know that the power available in the wind in terms of a kinetic energy. Okay. So you are defining kinetic energy as the energy, okay, the wind energy as the kinetic energy of large masses of air. We are saying that. Okay, the power available in the wind is a kinetic energy. The power available in the wind is a kinetic energy. Power available in the wind. Available in the wind. Power available in the wind, which I am calling as a P naught. Power available in the wind, which I am calling as a P naught. M dot into U naught, which you can call as a m dot into U naught. M dot is rho A U naught. Rho A U naught. Half m power available in the wind is equal to kinetic energy half m dot U naught square. The same thing you can call as a kinetic energy. Half into mass flow rate into U naught square will be the kinetic energy available with the wind, which will be the power available in the wind. The same thing I am writing. M dot is nothing but half. M dot is nothing but, from this equation, mass flow rate is nothing but rho A U naught. The same thing I have represented, and U naught square. Finally we have half rho A U naught into U naught square. You will have U naught cube. You will have U naught cube. Okay. So the power available with the wind you can call as a half rho A U naught cube. U naught cube. From the same equation, I can write that power available for unit area. Power available for unit area, which will be is equal to half rho U naught cube. Half rho U naught cube. Okay. So here the final conclusion you can cue that. Okay. The power available in the wind per unit area is directly proportional to cube of the, okay, speed of the wind. Directly proportional to, you can say that from here, the, okay, directly proportional to the cube of the wind speed. Cube of the wind speed. Okay. The equation for power available or kinetic energy in the wind will be half rho A U naught cube, that I am representing with P naught. That I am representing with P naught. Okay. This is the equation for power available in the wind. Okay, this much of used power is available. If I use a wind turbine, how much of power will be extracted from the wind? This much is available. How much will be extracted by the wind turbine? That is very important. Okay, thing here. Okay. So availability is different. How much you are extracting, that is very much important, because what we have extracted, that will be converted to the electrical energy. That will be converted to the electrical energy. And the next concept will be, okay, here we will have a equation P naught is equal to half rho A U naught cube. The same thing I am. Okay, power available in the wind. Power available in the wind. Power available in the wind is given by equation half rho A U naught cube. Half rho A U naught cube. Half rho A U naught cube will be the power available in the wind. My objective is to calculate what is the power extracted. Power extracted from a wind. My objective is, okay, the power is available. Huge amount of wind power is available as a kinetic energy. Okay, how much is extracted from the available wind? How much is extracted from the available wind? That is the very important task. That is the very important task. Okay, so now in order to do this, okay, so already you know that. Okay, so power will be extracted from the wind with the help of a wind turbine. With the help of a wind turbine, power will be extracted. With the help of wind turbine, power will be extracted. Power will be extracted. Okay. So a wind turbine is one which will convert. A wind turbine is one which will convert kinetic energy of wind into mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. Kinetic energy of wind into mechanical energy. If this mechanical energy is connected to the generator, such that you will get a electrical output. Simply you can say that wind turbine will do this. Okay. So how much amount of available energy is extracted by the wind turbine, that we are going to. Okay, now how much of energy is extracted? Okay. So in order to okay, derive that equation, how much of energy is extracted by the wind turbine from the available wind energy half rho A U naught cube. Let us say this will be equation 1. This will be equation 1. And how much it is? Okay, we will consider a Beijing model. In order to derive equation, how much of power is, okay, extracted from the wind by the wind turbine, we will use a Beijing model. First I am considering a, okay, unperturbed model of a unperturbed Beijing model. Unperturbed Beijing model. First I am using unperturbed Beijing model. In the unperturbed Beijing model, let us consider a pipe having uniform cross section. A pipe is having uniform cross section. Let us say okay, this will be called as a downstream. Starting is called as a downstream because, okay, it is entering here. Wind is entering here. This I am calling as a downstream. And this will be called as upstream. This will be called as upstream. Somewhere at the center, let us say, okay, turbine is there. Okay. If you consider, okay, here the area is A1. Let us say here area is A2 and here area is equal to A3. Okay, as it is uniform, all the areas are same. A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A3. A1 is equal to A2 equal to A3. At the downstream, let us say the speed is U0 and at the middle the, okay, speed will be R. At the middle, let us say there is a turbine is placed such that, okay, so here the speed is, let us say U1 and here the speed will be U2. U0, U1, U2 will be the speed because total pipe is in uniform cross section. The speed U0 is equal to U1 and U1 is equal to U2. Okay, yes. Okay, it is a uniform Beijing model, unperturbed Beijing model we have considered. As the uniform cross sectional area is there, I can say that A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A3. All the areas are same. Okay. Once all the areas are same, okay, when the wind is entering at a speed U0, okay, the same speed is there at the center at the end also because uniform cross section is there. You can say U0 is equal to U1 is equal to U2. Okay. Then you will have a mass flow rate. m dash is equal to rho a u naught, which will be equal to rho a u1 and rho a u2, for a unperturbed cross section, for unperturbed wedge model or uniform cross section, you will have same mass flow rate throughout. Wherever if you find, you will have a same mass flow rate. You will have same mass flow rate that you can observe here. Okay, A1 is equal to A2 equal to A3, U1 is equal to U2 equal to U3, rho A U0 is equal to rho A U1 is equal to rho A U2. Like that, same mass flow rate will be there. This is the very important. Okay, in uniform cross sections, mass flow rate is same since the speed and cross section are same. This is cross section is same, speed is same. Since speed is same, we will have a same mass flow rate. Okay, and next is perturbed wedge model. Perturbed wedge model. Next, consider perturbed wedge model. This is called as perturbed wedge model. This is called as perturbed wedge model. Here the cross section is A1, let us say. Here let us have, I have placed the turbine. Here let us have placed the turbine. Here the cross section is A2, let us say. We have connected a turbine here through which power is, okay, wind is blowing. On the way, the blades are extracting the power. Let us say this is the turbine rotor, let us say. Turbine rotor, which will extract the wind energy. A2 I am saying. And here the area A3. You can observe here. Area A1 is less area, less cross-sectional area. If we keep on, the wind is entering here at the downstream. This you can call as a downstream. This we can call as a downstream. The wind will be entered at the downstream and slowly enters at the rotor, so that rotor extract kinetic energy from the wind. Finally, it will be released. And it will be released to the outside. Okay, turbine rotor, you can say this will be upstream. This can be called as upstream. This can be called as, okay. Downstream, turbine rotor and upstream. Turbine rotor and upstream. Like that you will have. Areas will be A1, A2, A3. You can observe here. A1 is less than, A2 is less than A3. Okay? Since areas are different, speed is also different. U0, U1, U2, let us say. Okay? So since area is keep on increasing, speed will be keep on decreasing. When the wind is entering, if the areas keep on increasing, speed will decrease. If the area is decreased always, okay, it will be present, speed will be increased. Okay, likewise, okay, since A1 is less than A2, A2 is less than A3, always U0 is greater than U1, and okay, U1 is greater than U2. Speed will, okay, and also in the case of unperturbed, okay, in the case of unperturbed wedge model, mass flow rate is same, whereas perturbed wedge model, areas keep on changing. In that particular case, so mass flow rate is different at different places. Since continuously area is changing, okay, so at the downstream we will have, okay, different m dot, and at, okay, center where the rotor is there, okay, there is the area will be, the speed will be U1, where finally at the downstream we will have a speed of U2. Speed of U2, like that you can have. This is called as a perturbed wedge model. In the case of perturbed wedge model, you will have a different mass flow rates at different places, that you can see, okay. So now I would like to find out, okay, when wind is coming towards the rotor, so rotor will extract the kinetic energy, okay, and remaining will be released here. How much of energy is extracted by the turbine that I am going to derive here, okay. In the before case, how much energy is available with the wind we have derived. Okay, the next case, second case, how much of energy is extracted from the wind we are going to, okay, find out. So now you can see, to calculate let us calculate, okay. So how much, okay. So this is entering at a speed of u0, finally it is having u2, finally it is having a speed of u2, okay. Here if you find out, okay. So what will be the thrust or force at the downstream minus thrust or force at the upstream? If you find out the difference, okay, the thrust or force at the downstream, mass flow rate, let us say m dot, and you will have m dot, and you will have speed here u0, So whereas here at the center mass flow rate is, and you will have, okay, u1, as speed is u1. At the upstream you will have mass flow rate into u2, okay. The thrust or force that is extracted by the rotor, you will get thrust or force extracted by rotor is given as, so at the downstream we will have, out of which the remaining will be m dot into u2, okay. M dot u0 is entering at the force or thrust at the inlet or downstream will be m dot into u0 minus the force at the outlet or upstream will be m dot into u2. The remaining will be extracted by the rotor. Okay, total is here, out of remaining is here, okay, total minus remaining, you will have a total, okay, kinetic energy, or okay, so total thrust or force extracted you will get, which you can have m dot into u0 minus u2, m dot into u0 minus u2, m dot into u0 minus u2, this equation. This is the only thrust or force. If you want power extracted by rotor, okay, force or thrust into speed of the rotor is u1, the same thing you can write m dot into u0 minus u2 into u1. This will be very important. The power that is extracted by the turbine will be m dot into u0 minus u2 into u1. This I am calling as equation 2. The first equation is half rho a u0 cube, and second equation is m dot into u0 minus u2 into u1. That is the second equation. And what we are saying, the power available in the wind as a kinetic energy, okay. So the equation will be the kinetic energy associated with the wind. Kinetic energy associated with the wind will be given by half m dot u0 square minus kinetic energy extracted, so kinetic energy extracted from the wind is given by, from the rotor is given by, so the kinetic energy at the downstream half m dot u0 square, and the kinetic energy at the upstream half m dot u0 cube. From this equation we get half m dot u naught square minus u naught cube. Let us say this will be equation 3. So power available with the power extracted from by the turbine is, okay, we have second equation. Let us say this is third equation. You will have a second equation. You will have a second equation, or the second equation we have derived here, m dot u naught minus u2 into u1. M dot u naught minus u2 into u1 will be the second equation, power extracted. In the different way we have calculated using kinetic energy. Power extracted will be half m dot u naught square minus u2 square. U naught square minus u2 square. U naught square minus u2 square. Okay, both will be equal. Okay, both will be equal. We will have half m dot u naught minus u2 whole square. Okay, from these two equations we have m dot will be cancelled, and this we can write half into u naught plus u2 into u naught minus u2. From this equation we have u naught minus u2 will be cancelled. Finally you will get the rotor speed. The speed of the rotor at the turbine will be equal to average of upstream and downstream speeds. The speed of the rotor will be average of upstream and downstream, okay, speeds, which I am calling as equation 4. Which I am calling as equation 4. Okay. So now I would like to derive, considering one factor called as inference factor. Let us consider I am defining a factor called as a inference factor. Inference factor, you can say that. Inference factor. Inference factor. We have a factor. I am defining a factor called as inference factor, which is representing with A. Okay. So it is a ratio of. Okay. So the speed of it is a ratio of difference between downstream speed minus rotor speed with respect to downstream speed. The same thing I am defining. A is equal to u naught minus, okay, rotor speed by u naught. Okay, ratio of difference between downstream speed minus rotor speed with, okay, downstream speed u naught. A is equal to u naught minus u1 by u naught. Okay, from this I would like to deduce relation between u1 and u naught. Okay, u naught minus u1 is equal to A into u naught. u1 is equal to u naught minus A into u naught. U naught into 1 minus A. Okay. The speed of the rotor is 1 minus A times the u naught. The speed of the rotor is 1 minus A times of the u naught. This I am calling as equation 5. Okay, and also you will have a relation. The rotor speed is equal to speed of the downstream and speed of the upstream by 2 from this equation. So I would like to deduce, okay, u1 in terms of u2. The same equation I am substituting here. A is equal to u naught minus u1 is nothing but u naught plus u2 by 2 Here if you rationalize 2 u naught plus u2 by 2 Okay, so finally you will have u naught plus u2 by 4. You will have v naught plus u2 by 4. Okay, now finally you will have 1 minute. Finally we will have u naught. Okay, u naught plus u2 by 2. Whereas, okay, I am replacing u1 with, I am replacing, okay, u2. u2 is nothing but, what is the formula for u2? So not this one. So this is the U1 is equal to U0 plus U2 by 2. Okay, we have equation U1 is nothing but U0 into 1 minus A. Okay, replace here U1 as U0 plus U1 as U0 plus U0 into 1 minus A. U1 is nothing but U0 into 1 minus A, which will be equal to U0 plus U2 by 2. U0 plus U2 by 2. From this equation, this U0 minus A into U0, which will be nothing but U0 plus U2 by 2. From this equation, we can write 2 U0 minus A into U0, which will be nothing but U0 plus U2. U0 plus U2. Okay? So the same thing you will have. Okay, if we have 2A U0, okay, so this is U0 plus U0 minus 2A U0, which will be equal to U2. Finally, you can have U2 is nothing but U0 into 1 minus 2A. Let us say this will be equation 6. Okay, so we can see in the next class. Thank you very much.